Hi, thank you for tuning in to the Patricia Show. My name is Patricia. Please press like and subscribe and share this audio with someone who you may think they need it. I want to talk about the false light. People, I just don't know. Okay, people are in the metaphysical community. They're putting out this narrative about the false light. Let me explain this to those that don't understand. God is divine light. That is what God is. God is light and love. God is not sitting on the throne somewhere looking at everything you do. It is divine light. This divine light, if you know how, you can activate this light through you. When the light comes through, you are surrounded with so much love. I remember I used to didn't understand the difference between light and love, because they would say God was light and God is love. And then I would say, well, how can he be both? How can he be light and love? I didn't understand that. And then one day the Spirit of the Lord said to me, light and love intertwines. It's one and the same. It's almost like one side will be love, the other side will be light. It just intertwines. And so when you really tap that divine light, or if you're privileged for the Spirit to show you how to bring that light in, that light is like something you've never felt before. It surrounds you in love that I can't even explain, because you've never felt this kind of love before. As soon as the light begins to come through, I get to crying hysterically. I don't even know why I'm crying. It's like I'm crying because, well, yes, I do know, because I feel so much love, and I've never felt that kind of love before. It is not like the love that you have for your mother, brother, sister. No, it's not that kind of love. So now the fake light that people are talking about is the light when you have attachments or spiritual attachments or evil around you or in your life, or however, witchcraft or whatever. These evil spirits, they say, can also send through light, but they say that the light is fake light. Now, this is the thing, because I have felt the light from God. You will know. One lady told me, no, you can't know because it's the light. It's fake light. She don't know what she's talking about because she never felt it before. So she's thinking there's not a difference. It's the fake light and the real light. But what I'm telling you is there is a difference. You could tell the difference between the fake light and the divine light, because the divine light has that love in it. And the fake light doesn't have any love whatsoever. It is just light coming through. But if you are trying to teach about God's light and you have never experienced it, then please go sit down, because you are not teaching the people the right thing. This is something that you have to experience, and I have experienced it, and that's why I could tell you the difference. I don't know, honey, even Stevie Wonder could tell the difference between the two lights. But again, if you've never experienced it, then you'll just think, oh, this is real. There is no evil force that is going to bring through a fake light and then make love come through it, because they are afraid of love. That love just dissolves everything that they are, and they're afraid of it. So they're not going to put that love in it. So you're going to just have the light, and how you know it is not from God, because there's no love in it. This light, which I've talked to you all before, is so powerful. It can transform your life immediately. It can bring your illness to a halt and heal you instantly. Why? Because the divine love is in it. Because God's energy is in it. Because it is God. A lot of people and churches and things don't even teach about the light. And I think it's because they don't understand it. They're teaching you about Jesus on the throne. That is what they're teaching you. But I'm talking about the mighty I am. I remember asking a friend of mine who was Catholic, because I had been going to the Catholic Church for like a year. And I really like their adoration room. They have a room, it's called Adoration, where you could go in there and pray. It's so peaceful. And I really, really like that room. I used to go in there and be in there for hours every day. I love it. Some of them stay open 24 hours. And I would go in there at night, maybe 8 or 9 at night, and I would stay in there maybe 2 or 3 in the morning. Just praying. I just love the adoration room. So anyway, a friend of mine, she was a Catholic. I wasn't a Catholic. And I asked her about the Father, God, what had they been taught about God, the Father? She said, we've never been taught about God, the Father. And I said, well, Jesus always talked about God. She said, you are absolutely right. She said, but the churches, and she said, to my knowledge, none of the churches really teaches about the Father. To me, if you don't understand the Father, you sure don't understand Jesus. I know you say you do, but you don't if you don't understand the Father. Now, I know most of you think that Jesus is sitting at the right hand of God, but God is light, so nobody's sitting next to him because he can't even sit in a chair because he is light, people. So there is no chair that he's sitting. And where would the chair be anyway? Oh, I guess you say in heaven. The chair would be in heaven. Well, people who pass on and go back to heaven and have these out-of-body experiences, or what they call them, near-death experiences, when they go, they pass on and they come back, they say they don't see God there. They say that you could feel the presence there. One lady named Betty Eaton, she wrote the book Embraced by the Light. She tells the story how she had died and went out of her body and was gone for a very long time. And she met with Jesus, and Jesus took her around and showed her different things. But one of the things she said that was so fascinating to me, and I believe her with every fiber of my being, because it was like when I was reading that book, I remembered what she was saying was true. She said that she's seen the water there where you pass on. This is where you go when you pass on. She said that the water there was singing, like moving to the glory of God. She said the lights were singing to the glory of God. The plants there, they had plants, she said. Plants that were planted, and it was moving all in the rhythm of God. Everything, she said, was just like dancing to the light of God. When I read this in her book, I burst out in tears because something in my soul knew that she was telling the truth. Even though I had no conscious memory of what she was saying, I felt that I knew what she was saying was true. So it was everything there was dancing and moving and singing to the glory of God, but she never seen God on the throne. Why is that? Maybe because we haven't been taught the right thing. A lot of times in our history, religion has been used as a weapon to control the population. And also, control the population, because I was getting ready to say, in like the Roman time, it was used because they were going through a lot of strife and confusion and everything, and so they used the religious to put women in their place. You're not supposed to do this. A woman can't teach, and all this other stuff. And then when Constantine, who was a Roman emperor, he whatever the books were they were reading about Jesus at the time, he made them, he said whoever was caught reading them, that he would kill them. And so he created the Bible so that the people, he only wanted the people to read the version of the Bible that he had written. And if you didn't read his version and read your own the version that was other version that was out, you would be murdered. So a lot of people buried a lot of parts of the Bible during that time because they were scared. And then I think it was 1964, some archaeologists found parts of those Bibles. They had been buried for hundreds of years. And I think it was the book of Thomas, the book of Judah, and, some other books of the Bible. So when we say that we know that the Bible was written by the inspiration, the people being inspired by God, we really have to look back and see, is that really true? Because again, it was Constantine who put these priests in the room to have them to write the Bible, and then he took out what he didn't want to put in there and put in what he wanted to stay in there. That doesn't sound like somebody who's going by the inspiration of what God wanted in there. But anyway, this audio is not about God. Not about the Bible, so we'll have to talk about that another day. But what I want to tell you is that you just need to open yourself up and ask God to show you what the truth is, so that you can understand this divine light. And like I said, they don't teach about the light because they don't really understand it anyway. But God is divine light. And when you access this light, and if you know what the false light feel like, you could tell the difference. Now, if I've never experienced the false light. And that's why I am so I don't understand what they're talking about, because I have experienced God's divine light. And there's nothing in the world can fool me from that, because like I said, it's surrounded in love. It's filled with love. When I just feel a little of it coming through my body, I just start crying hysterically. And then that light, when you keep letting that light fall in on you, which I did a couple of years ago, and the light started clearing out all of my emotional dysfunctions in my emotional body. For example, my mother was dead, and I guess I hadn't got through with that grief. So the light went into my emotional body and healing that grief out of me from my mother's death that I still have there. So that divine light of God is healing. But we should know that because if God is divine light, surely it will heal. That divine light is in your body. It's in an electron in your body. And it cannot be touched by anything but your thought. Your thoughts, your negative thoughts, make it vibrate slow. Your positive thoughts make it vibrate faster. You want to always be vibrating on a higher speed because it burns off all illness and negativity. So if you're thinking positive, you're doing the right thing. If you're thinking negative, that creates illness and sickness, and the light begins to vibrate slower. But you are that divine light because you are God. You are the child of God. So don't let anyone tell you that there's a difference between, there's no difference between the light of God and the darkness, the dark light, and God's light is the same. That's a lie. You know God's light because the beautiful and enormous feeling of love that's inside. Thank you so much for tuning into The Patricia Show. My name is Patricia.